This is an opportunity that we would like to take as a school district to ensure that our community is informed, to ensure everyone has a clear understanding of the steps that we have taken as a district, the planning that we have taken as a district, and the steps moving forward regarding what is some uncertainty and how fast as a district we will have to respond to what is a growing and evolving situation. So I will go backwards in terms of some of the work that we have done and some of the resources that we have available to our parents and to our children within our schools. We have taken a proactive approach from the very beginning regarding coronavirus. In our school system, we have always used hospital-grade disinfectants. We have the machinery in our schools to disinfect from the very beginning. Matter of fact, when this story began to break, we have did stories for some of you in the media regarding the equipment that we use, the e-mister, how we're disinfecting our schools, covering 58,000 square feet within a day. The opportunity to ensure that our schools are disinfected following a schedule, that we have clean, safe learning environments for our students. We are also proactive in securing cleaning materials, soap, disinfectant for our schools, hand sanitizer, being proactive, knowing that this was going to be items that were hard to get a hold of. We were proactive, ordered bulk items that we now have available in our warehouse, and we can distribute to our schools and principals as they need those items. All our teachers need to do is ask our principal, and we will ensure that they have those materials in their classroom to ensure that our classrooms are clean and safe, that we're continuously wiping down what they call those high-touch areas. So we've been very proactive. I would encourage everyone to look at our webpage on a daily basis. It keeps the community informed of the steps that we have taken and the action that we will be taking moving forward. It contains information that can be taken home, information that can be discussed with your children at home, a number of information. Important information is there. We follow and are in constant contact with our health department. We meet every morning with them to discuss, has something changed within our county? As of 9 o'clock this morning, there have been no verified cases within our community. But we continue to be proactive and we continue to plan. In addition, there's a great deal of support that is being provided from the Department of Education as well as the network of superintendents. I have the opportunity on a daily basis, whether it be through the state or whether it be through the Superintendents Association, to problem solve, share ideas, and get a good understanding as to what we should be doing as a community. The opportunity to learn from all others who are experiencing the same scenario as we work through together. The situation continues to evolve. Right now, as a district, we have canceled a number of events. Any events that are mass gatherings, over 1,000 students, we've asked principals to cancel those events. We had events that we were looking forward to having tomorrow. We were having our choice fair, which provided an opportunity for all of our choice programs to highlight the work that they're doing. Because there may be over 1,000 people there, we took the steps necessary and canceled that event. So principals have been given the direction, if there are events where there is mass gatherings, 1,000 or more, we should cancel those until further notice. Spring break is coming up. A number of people go on vacations and they travel during spring break. Once again, following the CDC's recommendations, if you're within that level 2 or level 3 code defined by the CDC, which includes cruises at this point, we're asking those individuals to self-identify and participate in the 14-day self-quarantine. And we'll work with each employee and student as they identify who they are to ensure that either we can provide work for them to do or instruction while they're in the midst of that 14-day quarantine. I want to provide an opportunity to review what we would do if we have to close schools. Our team has been working very diligently in order to ensure that our teachers remain in control of instruction for our students. We are not willing to outsource our primary mission. We will not outsource teaching and learning in this district. We have worked very diligently to ensure that our teachers remain the ones teaching our children. We are surveying our families now. We started yesterday, identifying connectivity across the community. For families that do not have connectivity, we have 10,000 devices that we can distribute and send home so our students can continue to connect to the instruction that we're going to describe now. I would encourage everyone to look at our website, look for opportunities to review the resources we currently have available. So we have a number of instructional resources that we have as a district that we use continuously throughout the year. If you were to go to our webpage and hit the parent resource page, you can get an overview of how these resources are used in our classrooms and at home. So I would encourage parents to be proactive, take the time, and familiarize yourself once again with some of the instructional resources that are available for our families. We have, and I will review now, an instructional provisional plan. This is a plan that remains fluid. It is a plan that if we put into place, all students will have opportunities to engage in standards-aligned instruction. All students will have the opportunity to connect and engage with their teachers. We also have a system called Canvas. We have a learning management system. So courses that go above the standards, AP courses, IB courses, those teachers will have opportunities to connect and engage with their students through that system called Canvas regarding feedback for lessons and activities. For our most fragile students, our ESE students, we have links and resources available to those parents and opportunities for the parents to connect to our staff who will be available to provide those resources. Same thing with English language learners. So we have a provisional plan that is in place that we're looking forward to implementing if need be the case. Instructional technology. We will provide technology as needed. We're working with our internet providers to open up access across our community to expand access to our students. We have ordered and will be receiving additional hotspots that we can send home to our students if they do not have any connectivity. So last night we sent home a survey to identify where we need to deploy those devices. If needs be, we can send those students home. We will be working with our principals again on Monday, reviewing the plan. Next Tuesday, we'll have the opportunity, Wednesday, have the opportunity to meet with our teachers, review what is expected of them to ensure they have a clear understanding, they have been trained, they are ready to meet the needs of their kids given a situation in which we would need to close down. If we do close down, we will continue to provide lunch. We have 3 buses that are lunch buses that we use during the summer. This is a system that we've used for the two previous summers. Going to depots throughout the community, providing opportunities for students to continue to receive lunch at these particular depots. We will push out additional information regarding that if that need be the case. So we continue to monitor the situation. We continue to debrief and work with our county health administrator. We continue to connect and be advised by the CDC. We continue to connect to the State Department of Education. This is an opportunity for me to assure you that as a community and as a district, we stand ready to act and implement a plan that ensures if we need to close schools, that we are ready to act. We are acting in an abundance of caution. We have canceled trips out of the state. That was the CDC's recommendation. Do we want to cancel trips? No. But do we want to act in the best interest of our children? Absolutely. Have these students worked very hard to earn the opportunities to go to state and national competitions? Yes, they have. Are they going to be frustrated because they fundraised and washed cards and sold this, that, or the other to raise the money to go, and now they're not being afforded the opportunity? Absolutely. There are a lot of questions that still need to be answered. The assessment of our students, the impact that it has on our teachers regarding the scores that they use as part of their evaluation. Is that going to be impacted? What's the outcome of that? So we work through this together. We understand this is a time of confusion, but ultimately as a district, we are ready to be united and work through this as a community. Thank you. I'll answer any questions you may have. Well, the number of students, as a community, we have just over 17,000 students in our system, with right at 60% free or reduced lunch. So we're aware of that data, we know that information, and we are following up. So the connectivity is what we're working on now. Providing lunch is what we have a plan in place for that. So we feel very comfortable that we're going to be able to provide services to all students, regardless whether they are free or reduced lunch or not. Summer, go ahead. No one is more disheartened than me, maybe our board members, our principals who have worked really hard to put together these presentations and share the great work that we're doing. We will wait and see. An opportunity to share the good things, the great things that are happening in our school is our desire, but we want to, once again, err on the side of caution. And if there's opportunities to ensure that our community is aware of these things, we do have a TV station. Maybe we'll make a TV show highlighting some of the great things that are happening in our district with our choice programs. It's over the course of the next month, so we have a little bit of time. I don't anticipate things getting better over the course of the next month, though. Summer. No, go ahead. Thank you. Great idea. We also did a presentation with the principals meeting. There's information that we can share from that meeting as well. So there really are a number of things that we can do to highlight the great work that's being done by principals, and we'll find a way to share that information if we're not afforded the opportunity to have the choice fair. Summer. Actually, it was a telephone call home, which allowed them to respond to questions that were asked during the phone call. We were going to circle back with those who did not answer, and then any student who has not responded, we're going to push that information to the principals, have them call the students down to ensure that we have the appropriate numbers or whether the parent wasn't picking up. We want to ensure if we have to implement this plan, all students have been accounted for. Once we have that information, devices will be deployed to school. So if we get the call at 9 o'clock in the morning, students go home with those devices in the evening. Teachers have been trained. They know exactly what they're going to be doing. Principals know exactly how they're going to be supporting their teachers and students. So still a lot of moving parts over the course of the next few days, but we're very comfortable in the plan that we have developed, in the resources and content, and the opportunity for teachers to connect with their students over the next several weeks if need be. This would be a laptop that we would deploy. We're not sending home a tablet or not sending home a computer or a phone-like device. This would be a tablet that they would open, have the space that they're familiar with using in schools. A lot of these devices come from the classroom carts that we have. So these are devices our students are very familiar in terms of using. My biggest concern with that is the week after next, we go to spring break. And families going on vacations, if they still have the opportunity to go on vacation. When we go home next week, we're going to go home fully prepared to implement the plan the day spring break would start. So not having that week off means we have to be prepared and ready to implement if the situation progresses over the course of the time that we're on during spring break.
My question though is, will decisions be made like the day before school is supposed to start? So will parents expect a phone call or an email like on Sunday after spring break that Monday the kids are not to report to school, or will it be kids are sent home midday?
No, we're going to give as much lead time as possible. We want to make the right decision. We want to make an informed decision, and making an informed decision means that we're being proactive in communicating this is the date. Most parents don't want schools shut down. We want to be, as you're shaking your head, we want to educate our children. We are the largest employer in the community. When people can't send their children to school, they're going to have to make the difficult decision, do I go to work today? So we will continue to err on the side of caution, but at the same time ensure if the state is directing us to shut schools that we're sharing that information as soon as possible. I anticipate, based on the conversations that we've been having, there would be a 2 or 3 day lead time. Let me know.
How does your instructional provision plan apply to students that receive partial funding?
Depending on the courses that they are taking, they would have access to the technology that we're providing. So this would be an opportunity to student by student. That's some of the information that we're covering with principals to look at all students. Typically, students who do partial funding are not extra enrichment courses. So we have opportunities that will be on this dashboard for students to engage or continue to engage in those courses over the course of an extended time off. Our focus during this time is the core. It is the standards-aligned instruction. These resources are aligned to where we are within the confines of the school year, looking at our curriculum maps or our pacing guides, ensuring that we're continuing along the path that our teachers have been going down with our students the entire school year.
What, when we go back to the decisions for schools, who makes those decisions? Is that up to you as a Department of Health? Is that up to the governor or the Department of Education? Who decides on a district basis whether or not to shut down schools?
I will make that decision. I will confer with the board in preparation to make that decision. I will confer with the CDC. I will confer with our local health department. It is not and will not be a decision that is made in isolation. It will be an extremely informed, data-rich decision that acts in the best interest of our community.
Do you know what it would take in order to close school? I mean, how many, virus, how many students may be infected or number?
No, there's not a number. That would be information that we would defer to our health administrator. As I said, working with them every single day, great relationship established in terms of how we respond to one case or how we respond to 15 cases. Every situation would be different, and our response to each situation would be different as well. Yeah, sure. And that's why we have the system that I just described, where we're following back up and then working through schools. But since we have you here now, we will connect with you to make sure that we capture that information. But as I've already described the process that we're going to ensure that we capture everyone over the course of the next few days. Yes, and we have our union leadership here with us today. Those have been conversations that we have been having proactively. If we go into a state of emergency and have to close schools, very similar to a hurricane, that unfortunately, is a system we're very used to, pulling in the appropriate staff to continue, in this scenario, to clean schools. Those who are at district office continue to come to work and work through, and then working with our teachers to ensure that they have the opportunity to access the technology they need to connect to their students while we are closed.
As the largest employer in the community, how many employees are current at the school district?
Just over 2,000? 2150, says the chair of the school board. So with that, I thank you. I do want to highlight and thank my board for coming out and supporting me. They have been very proactive, ensuring that we are acting in the best interest of our children. It has been a 2-month window for me, so to come in and have to take on such a challenging, ever-changing scenario, being new to the superintendency, thank the board for their opportunities to support me and encourage me through what is a very, very difficult time. Thank you all for being here. And then for our union leadership and my staff that are here, this is a partnership. This is an opportunity for us to work together, be on the same page, address the issues as they arise, ensure that we are best by kids. And this group that stands before you are willing to do the work to be best by kids. Thank you. Thank you, guys.